Hello everybody, trust that you're doing well. Your good friend Errol here, hoping that everything is excellent with you. One of the things I like to every now and then give a fast shout out to individuals wherever you are. You know, one is to say how good the good Lord is. You know, I usually like every time I say good, I have to say the good Lord. And every time I say the Lord, I have to say how good he is, because you know, the thing that he continued to do for myself, and not only for myself, but many people all over the city, all over the country, all over the world. But one of the things I want to say right now is, let me say this to you. None of us is special to sickness, special to success. None of us is special to sickness. Meaning we all suffers somewhat, somehow. We're human in this form. None of us is special in success, because everyone can be granted success. And by the way, each and every day I see a lot of successful people, and I got to be honest with you. In talking with them, or in their presence, when I leave them, or you know, even having a conversation with them, I gotta be honest, they're no different from you who doesn't have a dime. The only difference might be is that they may have more than a dime, but they're just people. And here's the funny thing, they go through struggle, they go through heartaches, they go through pain. But I want to say something that is important, that to you and to every one of us. We're all people. There is nobody that hurt and hurt different. If you hurt because of a loved one, that hurt is a serious hurt. If you hurt because of a loved one, that hurt is a serious hurt. If you hurt because of a loss of employment, that hurt is a serious hurt. If you hurt because, you know, let's say something happened within the family that you could not control, that hurt is very serious. If you hurt because of, even let's say it's a you know, doesn't matter what it is. And oftentimes one of the first things I'm going to suggest to you, when you hurt, in the sense of, you know, look, we all are human. We're all people that suffer the same situation. I always say, do not reign where I am, and don't reign where you are. Just for that. It's that rain is for everybody. It may rain here today, but tomorrow it's going to rain in a different city. Don't be excited about your sunshine just because somebody else is getting rained on or having storm. Because life has a universal ability, such as when the wind is blowing strong in my area, that I have to be packing everything and putting it or tying it down, or even something's blown away. Well, somebody else might be having a great time. One of the things that I always beg people to do, don't celebrate over anyone's failure. Do not celebrate over anyone's misfortune, because the wind blows around. And just like how the things goes around, it's like a boomerang. You know, I heard in the early days about a thing called a porcupine. And a porcupine is in the successful world of business. That's how these people communicate, such as they ask a question. Now, what I want to imagine now is that somebody just asked you a question. Just assuming that somebody asked you a question, in the sense, this is a porcupine statement. So assuming that they ask you that question, what's going to happen is that in return, just picture that they throw a porcupine in your hand, or throw a porcupine in your lap. Now, if you know what a porcupine is, it's a little prickly stuff, that little animal. What you're gonna do if somebody throw a porcupine in your lap, by incident, what you're gonna do, you're gonna throw it back, just out of reaction. You're gonna throw it back. Because it's a reaction, you're gonna go, yeah, oh my God, and you throw it back out of your lap. Anything that you're scared of, you kind of throw it back. The thing is, people's hurt is like that. So when you celebrate over a man's falling or over somebody's hurt, let me say this to you. I got a tie at my house, a tie. That tie was given to me. I hate to put this in it. This tie was given to me by maybe I shouldn't tell this story because it's not a good story. The point, what I'm saying, that person fell in many ways. He was giving me the tie when he was up here. He fell. You know, I kept that tie for over 15 years. I never wore that tie once. It's not my color, but I kept it for over 15 years to remind me how people, doesn't matter who they are, everybody's circumstances can happen. I kept that tie. I know exactly where it is. I can go in my wardrobe or wherever and pull it out. I have moved multiple times over the years, June, maybe 20 years, and I still kept that tie. Never throw it away. Because it's a reminder to me that there's nobody who can misfortune cannot happen to. Nobody is immune to misfortune. Nobody is immune to fortune. Nobody is immune, or meaning, maybe I'm using the wrong word. Nobody is maybe immune is okay, but there's nobody that cannot get sick. There's nobody that cannot have a headache. There's nobody that good fortune cannot come upon. Okay, let me make sure I understand this. There's nobody who can't bump into somebody who changed your life in a positive way. There's nobody they can run into somebody who let them feel like nothing, let them feel like garbage. Everybody are the same. Now, I'm just fortunate enough that each and every day when I see somebody and met somebody, the things that I try to learn is what sometimes bring me to the next person. Because I collect material, I collect things, I collect people, so I can learn what and how and when and where. Okay, so I always say my ears worth millions because of the people that I get to talk to, and I make it a personal point of duty to talk to these people, and that's why I know so many people. And no, this doesn't mean successful people. I make it a point of my duty to know the person who is on the street that's sitting down on the corner, so I can hear his or her story. So it's not just successful people. I want to hear the person who chose to live on the street. What's his story? You'll be amazed. The guy who live on the street, try one day. Don't look at him as a dollar or as a panhandler. Try to have a conversation with him. I know there was a fellow some years ago that his name is Pierre. Not sure if he's still alive. That was probably about 30 years ago, or maybe something in that nature, 25 years ago. I knew Pierre, and Pierre was very, like, he talks to himself, just having a conversation. Now, I used to run a restaurant at the time, and Pierre would come and he would stand in the line, street person, he would stand in the line and he would talk to himself, and when he come, he said, "Oh, hello, Errol, how are you? You know my name and everything." And by the time I took his order and he'd go to bed, he would there talking to himself again. If you ever ask Pierre a question, there is no catalog, I should say, there's no encyclopedia that can describe the things as Pierre could. Pierre also was a principal in a school, Don't ask me what happened. May have lost his mind or whatever. Look, I'm telling you something. Now, I want to jump back to also another person who run a multi-billion-dollar company, and he have got a nervous breakdown. And when he got the nervous breakdown, I heard that they had also given him a play phone. So he's still in his beautiful penthouse, massive penthouse, and he has all kind of transportation all over the world. But I understand it will be aisle transport and all of those things. And I understand that he would still be, they had also given him a play phone that he could be there making deals. He think he's making deals, but really and truly he has a nervous breakdown. Look, do not celebrate over any man's failure. Do not celebrate over any man's failure. Do not celebrate over any man's failure. It can happen to you and it could happen to me. It has happened to me many times. Many times. But thank God that God picked me up. Thank God that most people don't judge me based on what happened, but they say, oh, maybe Errol, maybe he buck his toe. He will get up. Thank goodness for those who have a little bit of confidence in me. And for those who do not have confidence in me, it's okay. Because you cannot always just focus on those who you gotta understand, if you're gonna have some people who are gonna support you and gonna say you can do it, there will some people who said, oh, that's what I thought was gonna happen to him anyhow. Look, let's be nice to one another. Let's support one another. We may not be able to give up financial things, but let's tell somebody that can make it. You can make it. Doesn't matter who you are, you can make it. All right? Your good friend Errol is out. Until next time. I hope that this will help somebody. Until next time.